An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own.
You're tuned into an album a day. Show, start.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. That's my horrible impression of Bernice Jenkins doing the first Sunday announcements. If you don't know who Bernice Jenkins is, you need to look up Ricky Smiley. Look up Ricky Smiley characters. It's absolutely hilarious. So 2 p.m. We still on it. Still on it. It's not done. We took a few days off. The enthusiasm of finding out that I got distribution on Spotify threw me all the way off. It's an honor. Thank you for your support. So 2 p.m. we talked about their first album. A few things that and is what I meant to say. A few things that I failed to say from that first album. They ended up earning Artist of the Year at the 2009 Mama is Mnet Asian Music Awards. A lot of us are redundant and will say Mama Awards because, that's how we roll. But they really did chart very well with that. And then when they came back with more music on November 1st of 2010, they ended up getting on Billboard's World Album Charts. They ranked number 13. So there was no promotion or anything that had them getting the interest and excitement of the North American audience, but the sales charted them nonetheless. So 1:59 p.m. treated them very, very well. They came back June 20th, 2011 with Hands Up. It was on JYP. It also got released in Japan, and in Korea it ranked number 1, just like 1:59 p.m. did. It also charted in Japan at number 17. With 1:59 p.m., they sold well over 110,000 plus units. With this one, as of 2012, that's the most recent notation that could be found easily on Wikipedia. They have sold 114,613 units of this Korean issue of this album. Hands Up has no influence whatsoever of J Park. His time is gone. His time is done. It's a rap city in the basement. It's their second studio album. It's just 6 of them. And they're ready to show their 6 unique colors. So the album was released June 20th, 2011 in digital, meaning you could get it on, iTunes and whatever other options there are. Of course, Google Play. I'm not just going to ignore that. But over here in Korea, there very well might be something different. I just don't be paying attention because I still utilize the American aspects of things. And then the physical format of the album was released the day after. They also released a special limited edition one 3 days after the digital release. So they really were milking all that magic of being super amazing beast idols by giving you everything that you needed, everything you could want. They stayed within that R&B hip-hop-esque window of things. They did a lot of flipping, flopping around, all that stuff that we called martial arts tricking years later when GOT7 came onto the scene, who happened to be their label mates. They started that at JYP Entertainment. By this album, they were starting to taper off from that. You ain't really gonna see them do too many cartwheels. You lucky if you see a toe touch at this point. And I ain't talking about a jumping one. I'm talking about just bending over and reaching down to one's toes. So the singles from this one were Don't Stop, Can't Stop, Without You. That came out in April 2010. Mind you, this album dropped in 2011, so they had a tendency of giving you something well in advance so that you did not forget about them. You were excited about the Magic the Gathering that they bring to the table. They gave us that in April. Then they released August 17th, 2010, a song called Thank You. And then they finally released the single from the actual physical album, Hands Up. I take that back. I said the actual physical album as if those other 2 songs didn't pop on there. They do, but the album is named Hands Up, for crying out loud. That's a big deal. So it came out the day that the album dropped, June 20th. The album as a whole comes in at 48 minutes, 25 seconds. I'm looking at Wikipedia to confirm that, because the way my notes is set up, it's a lot of exclamation points all over this paper, and I'm feeling like I'm failing y'all. But it clocks in at 48 minutes, 25 seconds. Again, as I stated earlier, you have an R&B hip hop vibe, but there's a little bit more of a toss-up of electronic, if you will. I feel like that's just such a throwaway way to reference this. Yeah, it's got electronic. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean it's a lot of synthesizer, or was it more electronic instrumentation implemented? It means both. It's got a vibe that's going to make you want to dance. And if you happen to have access to a light stick, then, you might want to flail it around a little bit and twist that around in your hand, get your Magic the Gathering going. This is by far one of the most borderline country. You hear the dogs. See, even in the efforts of me trying to give you a wonderful podcast, even in my best efforts, Korea is like, you're going to hear me no matter what. What are they talking about? Do you know the dogs that y'all might hear over my speaker right now aren't even in the same building as me? Daegu, South Korea has got to be one of the most quietest places, because that is at minimum 3 buildings down. I mean, get it out your system. Argue about it. Say what you need to. Maybe they happen to be hottest. That's the fandom name for 2 p.m. I don't know. Well, damn. I thought they was finished. We're just going to have to press on, because I don't want you held hostage very long. So, K-pop fans, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being essential listening and 1 not worth mentioning, the A3Day rating on this is a 4.5. Hands Up was pretty doggone good. I don't like everything on it, but that doesn't stop it from being enjoyable. It was organized very well. There are more songs on this album that have legs on them, longevity, compared to their debut. That debut one sounds every bit of 2011. And even though this was just later in not later in 2011, I'm throwing myself off. All About 2 p.m. came out in 2011 as well, and that was an EP, and we're going to get to that. But we're going albums first, the full studio albums first. So it flows together very, very well. Some of the songs are just redonkulously long. In fact, like 3 of them, when you're with the song for over 4 minutes, like at this day and age, when we're so used to songs being efficiently complete in about 2 minutes, 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 37, something real awkward as that. When you got stuff clocking in at 4 minutes and 20 seconds, like, what more do you want from me? You asking a lot, but it still feels very good. When I did a live stream with this, just articulating some of the things I wanted to address with those who were listening to this, one that I said was a standout happens to be 4 minutes and 20 seconds. It's called Like a Movie. And it has a beautiful symphonic feel to it. The instrumentation is very open, very soft, very reminiscent of my first piano recital in the beginning, but it works very strongly for the song. What we said about 1:59 p.m. is that they had not grown into a comfort level of executing strong vocals just yet. On this particular song, they show it off quite a bit. Whatever training and development that was necessary in between albums, they really embraced it and showed it off a lot in this one. A lot of the songs are fun. I like Without You. I'm not going to lie, I do like it. JYP wrote quite a bit of this album, but this was also an opportunity for the young men to do it too. We have Junho writing Give It To Me. We had Jun K writing Hot. Even though those are 2 articulations by 2 of the members, this was the beginning of them really diving further into the writing aspect of it and eventually making their way over to arrangements, the actual production of it. I do strongly suggest this one before you listen to 1:59 p.m. I really do. Like, if you're new to them, I wouldn't tell you to go to that first album. That's not going to do anything pleasurable for you. But this one will at least get some things that'll grab you and be like, oh, okay, I see why Ashley might have cold sweats about this group. Perhaps. I get it. I'm not a hottest. I know I addressed it once before, but there's a lot of nostalgia tied in with these gentlemen and the time with which I came into being a fan of K-pop. So I have a lot of love and respect for them, and I'm pleased that they have something already as a 4.5. So that concludes this. This one is not as long as their first episode. I try to keep these as reasonable as possible, but if I get on a tangent, we just gonna roll with it. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, y'all.